Tantor Audio presents the Omni Diet, the revolutionary 70% plant/30% protein program to lose weight, reverse disease, fight inflammation, and change your life forever. By Tana Amen, BSN RN. Narrated by Pam Ward. Publisher's note. This audiobook is packaged with bonus material, which has been included on the first audio and MP3 CD. If you downloaded this audiobook in a digital format, please visit our website at www.tantor.com and type The Omni Diet into the search box. Follow the link to the book's page, then click on PDF Extra 1. When prompted, enter the access code ORGANIC to access the bonus material. Forward. Even though your brain makes up only 2% of your body weight, about 3 pounds, it uses 20 to 30% of the calories you consume. It is the most energy-hungry organ in your body. The nutrition you give your brain is either helping it to function properly and repair itself, or hurting and tearing down the most important organ in your body. The overall health of your body plays a major role in the health of your brain and your mind. There are now 22 scientific studies reporting that as your weight goes up, the size and function of your brain go down. The first study outlining this relationship between weight and brain function was performed by my friend Dr. Cyrus Raji and his colleagues. Reading it made me lose 20 pounds. I was not going to do anything that would shrink my brain. When it comes to the brain, size matters. After I published 2 studies from the Amen clinics replicating Dr. Raji's findings, I coined the term dinosaur syndrome to describe this phenomenon. Big body, little brain, on your way to becoming extinct. Knowing the science made it clear to me that I had to reach people and teach them to get healthy now. You literally have no time to waste. And as I learned more and more about the connection between physical health and brain health, I understood that nutrition was the centerpiece of healing. My wife Tana has been my partner in getting and staying truly healthy, and in educating others about the amazing power of nutritious food. Her reputation as a wellness expert has spread. These days, nearly everywhere she goes, people ask Tana, whom they fondly refer to as the brain doctor's wife, for health and nutrition advice. Friends, neighbors, the parents and teachers at our daughter's school, people we meet when we travel to Amen clinics all over the United States, they all want to know how they can improve the health of their brain and body by changing what they eat. When people do what Tana suggests, they often get immediate, dramatic, and positive health benefits. We have been astonished by the many phone calls and emails she receives from people who have lost weight, eliminated body pain, gotten off medications, improved their energy, gained strength, and normalized their bowels, simply by following her advice. When I saw the impact Tana was having on the people she met and worked with, I asked her to write the cookbooks for my national public television specials. My audience loved her and raved about the benefits that they experienced when they followed her program. Then, when I was tapped by Pastor Rick Warren to help put together the Daniel Plan, a wide-ranging health plan created for Saddleback Church, I knew Tana would be the perfect coach. Together with our friends Mehmet Oz and Mark Hyman, we helped 15,000 people to lose 250,000 pounds during the Daniel Plan's first 12 months. Whenever we speak together and people ask for advice about nutrition and supplements, I always defer to Tana. Ask the brain doctor's wife. She's the nutrition expert. Tana has a passion for health. She trained as a nurse at Loma Linda University in Loma Linda, California, a town whose residents are famous for their longevity. When we met, she was a neurosurgical intensive care nurse working with the sickest patients in the hospital. She saw firsthand the deadly effects of a lifetime of poor lifestyle and food choices, as people with obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and other chronic illnesses succumbed to early deaths. She also saw the dramatic transformations that took place when patients took charge of their health and changed their diets, reversing the destructive path of their illnesses, lowering their need for medication, and renewing their energy and health. As Tana has discovered in her life, and among the many people she has helped over the years, when it comes to good health, food can be your best medicine or your worst enemy. The typical Western diet of bad fat, salt, and sugar, think cheeseburgers, fries, and sodas, promotes inflammation and has been associated with depression, attention deficit disorder, ADD, dementia, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and obesity. But there is good news. If you start making better choices today, you will quickly notice that you have more energy, better focus, a better memory, better moods, and a slimmer, sexier waistline. You can also lower your risk of developing a range of chronic diseases, such as heart disease, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and cancer. Making healthier choices can even reverse the course of certain conditions, in some cases reducing or eliminating the need for medication. A number of new studies have reported that a healthy diet, just like the plan in the Omni diet, is associated with dramatically lower risks of Alzheimer's disease and depression. As you eat your way to good health, you will also enjoy yourself. Eating the Omni diet way has completely changed my attitude toward food. It can be healthy and be amazingly tasty. The Omni diet was the start of a wonderful relationship with food. Rather than being a slave to foods that were hurting me, I willingly enjoyed a range of wonderful foods that boosted my health and made me feel good about myself. I used to be like a yo-yo. I would crave bad food, overeat, feel lousy, hate myself in the process, crave bad food to feel better. It was way too much drama. Since eating the way discussed in this book, I have never eaten better. It affects everything in my life in a positive way. I don't want fast food anymore because it makes me tired and stupid. Instead, I want the right food that makes me smarter. And contrary to what most people think, eating in a brain-healthy way is not more expensive. It will actually save you money. Your medical bills will be lower, your productivity will skyrocket, your outlook will be brighter, and your waistline will be trimmer. Feeling amazing is priceless. The Omni Diet is the program we use at the Amen clinics to help our patients get and stay healthy. The principles Tana and the Omni Diet use are good for your brain and for your body. The Omni Diet is smart, science-based, and easy to follow. Tana guides you in a very practical step-by-step way as you incorporate new ways of eating into your life. She has hundreds of tips and suggestions to get you started and to help you succeed. I can tell you from personal experience that she is the perfect teacher, cheerleader, and coach. Exactly the person you want on your side to guide you toward a new way of eating and a new way of living. Take it from a physician, neuroscientist, and brain health expert. With Tana as your guide, you can feel healthier than ever before. Get ready, pay attention, and be inspired. The Omni Diet may very well extend and save your life. It will absolutely change it for the better. Daniel G. Amen, M.D. Introduction. The Omni Way. The doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. Thomas Edison. I love food. I think it matters. I've experienced the effects of food, good and bad, personally, and I've seen the effects professionally. What we eat can really change our lives, and you've probably picked up this book because there is at least a small part of you that thinks this too. Let's call it your gut. As a child growing up in a low-income household with a single parent who worked long hours, I lived on Cap'n Crunch, Pop-Tarts, chocolate milk, pan-fried steaks, and frozen pot pies, with ice cream for dessert. My family members suffered from obesity, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and dementia. We were the picture of bad health. Because of an undiagnosed autoimmune disorder that was wreaking havoc in my body, I suffered for years with childhood illnesses. By the age of 4, I had undergone upper and lower gastrointestinal studies for severe digestive issues. A few years later, I was hospitalized for mononucleosis, and I had my tonsils removed. Frequent infections required many courses of antibiotics. If something could go wrong with a kid, it would happen to me. As a teenager, desperate to escape my family's medical history and my own health demons, I exercised obsessively. Like many young adults, I thought if I exercised enough, I could eat whatever I wanted. I continued to live on processed foods, refined sugar, and caffeine. I looked thin and fit on the outside, but I was a mess on the inside. At the age of 23, I received a devastating diagnosis: thyroid cancer that had metastasized into my lymph nodes. For 11 years, while my friends were falling in and out of love and studying for exams and starting careers, I endured surgeries and radiation therapy. The treatments and illness came with an array of health challenges, including a serious bout of depression. There were many times when I felt completely hopeless and alone. By the time I was in my 30s, living with thyroid imbalances and having already suffered through so much ill health, I was willing to do anything to feel well, including overhauling my diet. Why my diet? My own health struggles had led me to healthcare, where I worked as a neurosurgical ICU nurse caring for extremely ill patients. Too often I was bedside for the consequences and regret that inevitably come with poor lifestyle and food choices: obesity, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, stroke, death. In my experience, lifestyle choices always catch up with you at some point. It is inevitable. For some people, it's in their 20s, as it did for me. For others, it's in middle age. But I was also blessed to witness the unbelievable power of second chances and the miraculous transformations that come from people simply changing how they ate. From reversing diabetes and health disease to needing to take fewer medications and having renewed energy and health. So, using the USDA food pyramid, I adopted what we all thought at the time was the perfect diet: 6 to 11 servings a day of grains, rice, and pasta, 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables, 2 to 3 servings of meat, and 2 to 3 servings of milk. And I used fats, oils, and sweets sparingly. Before I knew it, I was back in the hospital to have my gallbladder removed. Blood tests showed I had become insulin-resistant and had high triglycerides, high cholesterol, and high testosterone. My doctor pulled out his prescription pad to scribble down the names of a myriad of medications I would need to take, perhaps for the rest of my life. Some were to prevent conditions such as osteoporosis and heart disease, for which I was at high risk due to the high doses of thyroid medication that I would always have to take. Others were to manage the side effects of the drugs I would be taking. I felt like I was on a perpetual roller coaster of emotions, wired, tired, and anxious, struggling with a racing heart, insomnia, irritability, and decreased sex drive. I needed medication, my doctor explained, because I had been dealt a bad genetic hand. Some people are born unlucky in health, and unfortunately I was one of them. Frustrated by my perceived failures, I was tempted to believe him, give up, give in, take the drugs, and accept my poor health. That's right. I felt like a failure, a genetic reject. After all, I was a health professional. I had access to the best medical care and the latest scientific research. Why, then, was I continuing to struggle with my own health? But giving up isn't in my nature. It didn't make sense to bombard my body with a laundry list of pills and their unpleasant side effects if there was a chance that I wouldn't have to. Something inside of me said this was the not-so-easy way out. There's that old gut again. When I insisted that there had to be a better way than giving in to a polypharmacy plan for every symptom and risk, I was told that I was in denial. That's when I knew that I was going to have to be my own brand of health advocate. I have tremendous respect for doctors who dedicate their lives to trying to heal the sick. Heck, I'm married to one. But I realized that no doctor was going to understand my body or take my health or nutrition as seriously as I would. I had always been a fighter, and I decided this would be the fight of my life, literally. Over the next 10 years, I embarked on a health crusade and nutritional adventure. Unfortunately for me, it meant chasing a few red herrings and falling into a rabbit hole or two. Fortunately for you, I learned a lot in the process and ultimately developed the Omni diet, which has helped thousands of people lose weight, reverse illness, and change their lives. The Omni diet. I am a results-oriented kind of lady, and I wanted extreme results. So, of course, I decided to try an extreme diet first. In nursing school at a strictly vegetarian university, I had learned about the powerful connection between plant foods and wellness, so I embraced a vegan diet. Knowing that many vegan meat replacements are processed and filled with nitrates and fillers, I ditched all processed meats and fake meat substitutes and refocused my dietary intake on abundant amounts of fresh fruit, dried fruit, vegetables, pasta, whole grain bread, cracked wheat, barley, rice, and other grains. Initially, I felt great. My energy soared and my sleep improved. Eliminating processed food and daily supersized sodas likely had a very positive effect. But within about a month I began to have midday energy crashes. Eczema appeared on my face and I had trouble sleeping. After 3 months I was eager to see the results of my blood tests. I anticipated a dramatic change for the better. But my blood tests showed that my cholesterol and triglycerides were actually higher than they had ever been. I wasn't eating anything with cholesterol. Somehow, replacing meat with loads of fruit, pasta, bread, and grains actually increased my triglycerides and cholesterol. I was worse off than when I had started. So, as you might expect, I decided to go all in on the other extreme, a high-protein diet. I cut out all sugar and grains for 3 months and started eating high-quality, all-natural animal proteins. I was happy to see my cholesterol and triglycerides drop and my energy and focus improve. But by eating mostly protein, I wasn't getting enough essential plant foods. The science is very clear on this, and it's one thing all the experts agree on. Eating a lot of fresh plant foods helps lower the risk of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and other diseases. I needed to increase the micronutrients, phytonutrients, and polyphenols that come from plant foods, and minimize the diseases that were part of my genetic makeup. I'd gone from one extreme to the other, and I still wasn't getting the dramatic results I expected. I wanted it all. I wasn't willing to accept an either-or compromise with my health. Caught at a dietary crossroad, my experience was telling me that extreme diets were not the answer. I set out to discover the best of both worlds. I dared to venture into taboo, uncharted waters, the middle of the road. After endless hours of research and thinking about a bipartisan approach, I created an eating plan for omnivores that includes animal protein as well as plant foods. The Omni diet, 70% whole plant foods and 30% high-quality lean protein, comprises all the foods that have the power to boost health and weight loss, so you aren't forced to choose. Today, at age 43, I am the healthiest I've ever been. My blood sugar, triglycerides, cholesterol, and hormones are all at optimal levels. And I've seen similar results in thousands of people who have followed the Omni diet. By unleashing and harnessing the full healing power of food, they've reversed illness, altered their genetic destinies, improved their metabolism, balanced their hormones, and lost incredible amounts of weight. My nursing training made me a stickler for science, so you can be sure that the Omni diet is built on a solid foundation of scientific research and proven results, not one-sided beliefs and exclusive one-dimensional food choices. And it's not based on any pop science nutritional demons or deities. Instead, it provides an ideal way to incorporate into your diet the findings of cutting-edge research, which shows how food can actually turn off certain disease genes and turn on health-promoting genes. The Omni diet emphasizes foods that are scientifically proven to decrease systemic inflammation, optimize brain function, offer high-quality, nutrient-dense calories that satiate, provide maximum quantities and diversity of nutrients, decrease feelings of hunger and deprivation, break the chain of food addictions by balancing hormones, increase energy and youthfulness and feelings of well-being. The Omni diet is a carefully designed series of 3 two-week phases, followed by a maintenance plan that offers a lifetime of healthy living. For each of the 3 phases, I provide you with meal planning guidelines and daily menus that feature an exciting variety of easy, delicious recipes, along with common-sense advice and simple tips. Menus and recipes appear in the PDF companion to this audiobook. I also teach you how to create a supplement plan personalized for your specific needs, how to use exercise to magnify the health benefits of your new diet, and how to create a sleep plan that will ensure that you're getting both the quantity and quality of sleep you need for optimal health. Give it 2 weeks. Whenever I talk with people who want to improve their health and/or lose weight, I tell them this: just give me 2 weeks. Simply follow the Omni diet for 2 weeks, and then let me know if you want to stick with it. Time and time again, they're hooked. After just 14 days, they are so thrilled with the changes in their health, mental clarity, energy, vitality, and even the size of their butt and the slimness of their waist that they joyfully continue with the plan. After 6 weeks, their new way of eating and living is so ingrained in their psyche that it becomes part of their very identity. Instead of being addicted to junk food or extreme diets, they're addicted to the incredible feeling of good health and hope that they never thought could be theirs. When this happens, I'm not the least bit surprised. That's what happened to me. And I bet that after 2 weeks on the Omni diet, you'll feel that way too. So just give me 2 weeks. They will change your life. 1. Your history is not your destiny. Everyone has a doctor in him or her. We just have to help it in its work. The natural healing force within each one of us is the greatest force in getting well. Our food should be our medicine. Our medicine should be our food. Hippocrates. Kathy has had type 2 diabetes for years and has taken medication to help keep it under control. Although she knew she should stay away from foods containing sugar and simple carbohydrates, she found it difficult to resist her cravings. And although she knew losing weight would benefit her health, shedding pounds had always been a struggle. I met Kathy at Saddleback Church in Southern California, where my husband and I attend services. The church is led by Pastor Rick Warren, who has inspired millions of followers through his ministry and his best-selling book, The Purpose-Driven Life. In 2011, he had challenged thousands of parishioners to lose weight and improve their health with a program called the Daniel Plan. Dr. Mehmet Oz, Dr. Mark Hyman, and my husband, Dr. Daniel G. Amen, helped motivate 15,000 people to lose more than 125 tons of weight. I also was deeply involved in the Daniel Plan, teaching nutrition based on the Omni diet principles, creating instructional videos, and supplying recipes and motivational tips. One Sunday morning, an attractive middle-aged woman, Kathy, introduced herself to me. "Hi, I'm Tana," I responded. "Oh, I know who you are," she said with a big smile. "I've watched your videos on the Daniel Plan website. I've made many of your recipes and have followed your tips." "So, how are you doing?" I asked. Kathy's smile grew even wider. "I started following the Daniel Plan about 10 weeks ago. I had been reluctant to try it because I thought it would be hard. But it's really pretty easy. And I've lost 16 pounds. "Congratulations, that's great," I said. You must feel wonderful about your weight loss. I do, but that's not what I'm most excited about. By this time, Kathy was absolutely beaming. Once I started the plan, Kathy explained, I lost all my cravings for sugar within a matter of days. I started eating a much healthier diet, and I no longer had an interest in eating cake, cookies, and all of the other sugary junk that I used to love. My blood sugar began dropping immediately. Congratulations. That's fantastic, I said. Kathy's story reminded me of so many other people I know whose blood sugar and insulin levels had fallen dramatically once they cut out sugar and simple carbohydrate-filled foods, such as bread, muffins, rice, pasta, and anything made with flour. There's more to the story, Kathy continued. This is the best part of all. When I went for a diabetes checkup last week, my doctor told me I no longer have to take diabetes medication. For the first time in years, I'm off my meds. I can't believe it's that simple after only 10 weeks. Seeing the joy on Kathy's face brought tears to my eyes, because I know how significant this type of change is in people's lives. She eliminated her need for a very strong daily medication by doing one thing: eating in a new way. Simply by swapping life-threatening foods for life-supporting foods, Kathy learned to break free from a disease that plagues more than 25 million Americans and is the 7th leading cause of death in the United States. And she did it in only 10 weeks. Imagine how much more good health there is in Kathy's future if she continues her new way of eating. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. For Kathy and many other people who suffer from chronic illness, such as diabetes, irritable bowel disease, fibromyalgia, rosacea, multiple sclerosis, hypertension, heart disease, depression, and many others, food can be more powerful than medicine. Witness the power of food. I have nothing against pharmaceutical drugs. When used appropriately, they play a crucial role in good health. They have the power to save lives. They saved my life. Let me be clear. I am not telling you to stop filling your prescriptions. Nor should you feel bad or guilty if you do take medications. I happily take my medication, and thank God for it, because it helps keep me healthy. The Omni diet is not an anti-medication program. It's an optimal health program. What I do have a problem with is the indiscriminate use of powerful medication alone to manage potentially lethal chronic illnesses without proper education about the incredible influence of simple lifestyle modification. A pill may seem like a quick fix, but in my experience, managing a chronic illness is almost never that easy. I've worked with thousands of people who have been frustrated to find that their prescriptions are rarely the ticket off the roller coaster ride of illness, medications, side effects, flare-ups, and really bad days that result from poor health. Medication doesn't give your body everything it needs for health or quality of life. You can think you are doing everything right by following doctor's orders and still feel incredibly sick. Food can be as healing as a medication, or it can be as toxic as a poison. The trick is to harness its amazing power rather than be destroyed by it. By choosing the right foods, you, like Kathy, can break some of the bonds of chronic disease. You can positively change the action of your immune system, hormones, genes, and blood sugar. You can help slash your risk of heart disease, diabetes, cancer, dementia, and many other diseases. In many cases, food, along with lifestyle modification, can be as effective as, or even more effective than, pharmaceutical medications. And great, healthy foods don't have all those frightening side effects that you hear so rapidly described at the tail end of pharmaceutical television commercials. Mother Nature has packed countless powerful benefits into food. It is truly nature's medicine. With the incredible changes you are likely to see with the Omni diet, you and your doctor may discover that you don't need as much medication as you once did. or you may no longer even need it at all. Even if you do continue to require medication for chronic illnesses.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?